Welcome back to Miles Edgeworth, Ace Attorney.
But it clearly says Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney.
You mean the attorney who's currently a bit too delirious to tell the difference between you and Orlando Bloom?
But again, I'm fat.
What does that got to do with anything?
I'm not Orlando Bloom.
There's a reason
Well-
we call it being delirious.
And this is where the murder took place, sir.
The most important part, of course.
Other than removing the body, we left everything else untouched.
Excellent. Thanks,
We're leaning
Detective.
on the fence, Gumshoe.
I'll just have a look around. It looks like the police are still investigating.
Oh yeah, by the way, I thought I'd better ask you just to be sure. Are you really gonna defend that non-Iris at the trial tomorrow?
How hard could it be? Yes, I will. I gave my word, and now I must follow through with my commitments.
It's a matter of principle.
Well, in that case, I gotta be careful.
True.
Why?
Gotta make sure I don't leak the prosecution's whole investigation.
Remember, usually Edgeworth is the prosecution. Don't worry about it, Detective.
I'll
Just
dock
keep
your
your mouth
salary
closed, and I think most of it will flow out on its own.
Well, out of Gumshoe's mouth. Yeah, he
Oh,
can probably
God.
keep his mouth shut. and
Roger,
he'll still-
sir. I know exactly what you're saying.
Very well, Detective. Thankfully, his diary of the mouth is permanent.
Jesus.
He cares for him deep down.
Yeah, like I
Howdy.
said, Edgeworth isn't very good at feelings.
What are
I
these
just
feelings?
love being...
Really? You don't, seem like the type. Well, what about sleds?
Sleds? Nah, they're a little too kiddie, you know. Messes with my hard-boiled image.
This is a universe where fully grown adults watch the Steel Samurai, so I don't really understand why suddenly...
Mr. Edgeworth.
Is the world starting to go mad?
Yes!
Started a long time ago, Edge.
Yeah, I was gonna say starting.
No. His specific world, as in where he just viewed Gumshoe as a bumbling buffoon who's into kitty stuff.
Hey, you're right, but I'm pretty sure the main hall didn't have a second floor.
It's like in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. They can make a second floor out of magic.
Hazakura Temple was built on the steep part of the mountain.
It's magic, they don't have to explain it.
The front and back of the main hall are on different levels.
Oh, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It does. But would it be easier just to build the place slanted, sir?
Well, the builder of Wayside School did something like that. Didn't turn out so well. Actually, he kind of botched up entirely. Instead of, making 32 classrooms next to each other, he stacked them on top of each other. Sure, he apologized, but still, a screw-up is a screw-up.
Yeah, stone walls. I jumped over a few of those in my time. No.
Did you need
Most of them are good memories, but not all.
did you need 10 Gumshoe, when you jumped over the wall, did you need 10 jump cuts?
What movie reference is that?
Taken 3 or 2, I think it was, whatever. They're both from the same director.
It's a lantern. I suppose they light it at night.
There's something elegant about the light
shit,
of time.
Sherlock.
At the end of each month, I always like to relax in my room by candlelight.
Detective,
Aw.
can you not afford to pay your electricity bill?
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
How did you know?
Aww.
Okay, at some point in my life, I'm going to give you a raise.
There's a line. He might as well just not work.
So the sword from this gold statue is actually the murder weapon. It's kind of ironic. In case 2, that thing was just a bludgeoning weapon. Admittedly, it wasn't the real thing. Yet here, it was actually used to stake someone
So they
through.
managed to... Well, no, this is another one, even though it's the same model. I was gonna say that they managed to unbend it.
This
Anyway.
this one's the real deal.
It's over the blade. There are fingerprints over the hilt of the Shichishita too.
He mentioned earlier that, yeah, it talks about the branches of life and how they all end in one thing. Kind of fitting that at the end of those branches of life was a dead body.
Naturally, they match the prints we got from the younger nun, the defendant.
So it's a murder, but one with symbolism too. Her fingerprints are on the murder weapon?
Of course they are. Of course they are, Edgeworth.
What's wrong?
When-
You're looking
why
really
not-
solemn.
When exactly are the fingerprints of our defendant not on the murder weapon?
Don't
Well,
about this.
actually, you know, he's the.
Is this what it's
Edgeworth
like for
is
Wright?
real.
Is this what it's like to be a defense attorney?
Yeah, I figure it doesn't feel really good.
To be fair, there was Turnabout Sisters. And the first Turnabout. To be honest, it feels like it's detrimental to your health. Well, Edgeworth, welcome to the other side of the law. That's made tougher by
Greener on the other
prosecutors.
side, my ass.
What's this? It looks like a wizard staff.
That belonged to the victim, it's Elise Donim.
Where did the amethyst go?
Good question.
Maybe it came to
There's
life.
something strange or magical about it.
It's alive! It's
Oh
alive!
yeah, listen, this is just between us, okay, sir?
Yes. What?
This is top secret stuff. Don't tell anyone about this.
Oh boy. Alright.
The truth is, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a wizard.
Aww. Waiting for his letter from Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Edward is probably gonna wanna strangle him or something.
That's it. That's what you wanted to tell me.
Aww.
That's it.
This staff was made from a very strong kind
Yeah,
of wood.
be gone.
Yeah.
Man, Edgeworth, you are the epitome of niceness and wonder, aren't you?
Well,
Well, at least he didn't make fun of him for it.
Hey, he should duck his salary again.
You want to be a
dog.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, that's a great idea for a Detective Gumshoe spin-off. Every time Gumshoe screws up, the health bar is actually his salary, and if it goes to 0, he's forced to resign.
Kinda similar to that Tingle game from the Nintendo DS.
Yeah.
His game
And-
will be a mobile game, and it'll just be a selection of how to get rich quick minigames.
Yeah.
That reminds me of his gimmick in the Ace Attorney Abridged show, the one about the games, not the anime. Let's see if we can summarize what we've learned so far.
There are actually a
Okay.
lot of Ace Attorney Abridged series, so I don't know
Let's
which one
take
you're
a look
talking
at the
about.
The one made by Cardboard Lawyer.
According to the testimony of Sister Bikini, the head nun, she and Maya Fey headed to the inner temple right after dinner was finished.
Again, you realize Maya's not been the defendant in this game.
That's very strange.
At 10 p.m., after ringing the bell for lights out, Iris went to the inner temple.
Really quickly by the looks of it.
When she got there, Bikini had to take over while she went back to the Asakura temple. Head her.
She's like, imagine them running back and forth.
After taking a hot bath to soothe her back,
Yeah, tragedy struck.
Because of course it did.
Sister Bikini witnessed the murder in the courtyard.
No, guys, what she said before she went to the bath was, I'll be right back.
One more details to show us Bikini herself in the main hall.
We can never have an inheritance dispute, can we? It's always a murder.
But inheritance disputes usually end up in murder.
Yeah,
What is this
Fine.
inner temple that Maya was supposedly training at?
I think I get what Pedro is going for.
yeah, I know.
going to Bikini, it's an old building they used for training the acolytes.
It's the usual logic flips. Like Takumi's logic, couple of Yamazaki obviously, is that their logic is basically, yeah, we could do it, but it's nowhere near as exciting as murder.
Well, I think the thing is like, well, to be
Murder
fair,
is exciting.
I think the thing is like, well, it's usually how they set up the stakes with it. Like, obviously with a court series like this, the idea is to make it so that the stakes are high. And, usually the punishments regarding that are often, murder does sometimes result in the death penalty.
Well, the story in Turnabout showed how technically a trial for heist turns out.
Oh yes, indeed. In fact, that's one thing that this game is good for. It did give us a full trial that was solved. Remember, it got solved before the murder thing got brought up. We did actually get a full trial that wasn't murder, and did actually show some stakes. And to be fair, believe it or not, Ace Attorney 6 also has a case that's not about murder as the main focus.
That's actually true, yeah.
And third person, whatever.
It's hard to believe that in this day and age, you can still find people like that.
The estimated time of death of the victim was between 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. of February 7th.
That's one that I'm really looking forward to when we finally get
Because of
to case free of the spirit of
Was
justice.
blood loss resulting from stab from the back by a murder.
That is my
Death by
favorite
murder.
case in that game.
I've got a long way to go.
The victim was found skewered with a giant sword, sir.
That's terrible.
That's terrible.
Well, at least 40 cases.
Well, what else
stolen.
do you say to that?
Well, at least
That's horrible.
Yeah, but there's one strange
I mean,
thing.
yeah.
That's horrifying.
Okay.
The victim's entire body was covered with bruises.
That is preposterous.
The bruises are consistent with falling from the height of a two-story building.
so stabbing and a giant fall.
I get it, it was Heihachi Mishima. Just dropped her.
A two-story building. That would be about the same height as that room in front of us, correct?
Hey, you're right. Way to go, Mr. Edgeworth. Have a gold star.
Thank you.
That just happens to be the room that at least Donim was staying in.
That's because
Yeah.
he needs the pay raise, Dwibs.
Yeah, I think you're getting your characterization switched around.
Maybe she was pushed out of the window after she was stabbed by the sword?
Talk about overkill.
If someone really wanted to make sure she was dead.
Updated autopsy report added to the.
Or maybe they had the sword sticking out of the snow and pushed her off so she got impaled on it.
Huh. That would be an interesting way to die.
That's very unlikely, though.
Look, I'm just... Oh,
Yeah.
I already said that.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Gumshoe, you
Gumshoe.
get to say it.
This sword represents the multiple branches that life can take, all ending as one. Whatever the hell that means.
In death at the top there.
I've never heard that one.
You're Japanese, you should though.
You know what I think about sometimes?
I'm American, thank you very much.
What kind of life would
Sure
I have
you
if I
are.
joined the homicide division?
Then why do you have a
this ought to
British?
be interesting.
Then why do you have a British accent?
So you think about that kind of thing. I have a mid-Atlantic accent, not a British one.
Of course I do, I think about it a lot. He is a traffic cop, and he is a detention officer. Me as the blue badger, oh no.
Oh my god, what an
Oh,
Elseworld
no.
story that would be.
Please don't-
Yeah, screw the Joker movie.
Please,
This should be
please don't
what
tell me, there are fan arts.
Probably are.
There should be a
Guess
blue
Guess he
badger
doesn't
movie.
have any plans to leave the force. Probably for the best.
Oh, so I think I might have already told you about this, but the truth is, I was a little kid.
You wanted to become a wizard, right?
Yeah, we've already said this.
Hey, that's amazing. How did you know that?
You just
Well-
told me 10 seconds, 10
So,
minutes ago.
what do you think? I make a really great one, don't you think?
Gumshoe.
We just had this conversation a little while ago, Detective.
Yes.
Ah, yes, my best piece of evidence, the autopsy report.
updated.
I'm just, doesn't know how to say. Okay.
Yeah, same thing he had to say beforehand, apparently. Okay.
Have you presented Gumshoe with his own profile?
We did that already, too. What about Pearl?
Save that way. Yeah, still disappeared.
Yeah.
Apparently,
No.
she hasn't gone back to Korean village either, so...
I got it, guys. Pearl did it.
But it's
Well,
true
it's
that she
true.
was
Oh.
with Elise Dunham at that point last night.
Which reminds me, Joe, have you checked about the Giant Magatama in Justice for All?
I checked, and apparently the room we go to is the meditation room. We never get to go to the main room in Fey Manor.
Okay.
So,
You mean that maybe whoever killed Miss Dunim also...
don't jump to any crazy conclusions.
Ouch! You sure have one mean punch, Mr. Edgeworth. It's downright fierce.
Is he
Wait,
scared?
you actually punched him?
I guess Edgeworth's scared by the idea that Pearl could have either killed Elise or was murdered as well. I wonder if Maya's alright. I could never show my face to Wright again if something would have happened to her.
Aww. Oh, it'll be okay. If that happens, you can just show him my face.
Oh, that's so
How's
reassuring.
that?
Where?
Not helping.
I didn't mean like that, sir. It was just a silly little joke.
I wonder if there's any other way to get across to the other side. The support
Fly.
wires for the bridge are still intact, correct?
Are you gonna do what those high risk
That
game
bridge is
shows do?
almost 20 yards long.
Just have two planks, one a move, one across the other one.
I
at a
know it
time
may
and
look
step on
like
them.
it, Mr.
Oh,
Edgeworth, but
God.
I'm no superhero.
It's okay. It's okay. Edgeworth just has to become the one, so he can defy the rules of the Matrix.
Sorry, but I don't have time for that.
Build a jetpack and fly over it.
Yes, just give me enough time. Oh wait, that's right, the trial's tomorrow.
No, don't be silly. If Leighton can build an airplane in like 5 seconds, I'm sure you can build a jetpack in.
Yes, yes, he could, but he had the tools. We don't have the tools around.
That's a good point,
But
Ed.
she kind of happened across the tools, really.
Well, that's just Professor Layton's bout of luck.
So now it's as trustworthy as you can get. We got this one in the back.
Slowly
Oh.
slowly descend.
Okay, talking about the trial now.
I mean, I've always been on your side, Mr. Edgeworth, sir.
True.
So yeah, this is a pretty tight spot we gotta step into, huh?
Basically, he was saying at first that, oh, it looks like they got this trial in the bag until he realized that Edgeworth isn't the prosecution. Now I know why Wright's always breaking out in a cold sweat during one of these trials. Seriously, this almost seems unfair.
You haven't
Trial
even been doing this for a day.
The trial begins tomorrow. About the prosecutor.
I'm pretty sure it's that good old guy, but nobody can get a hold of him, so we're looking for a replacement.
So he's missing too. What do you mean?
It's really weird. All of a sudden, no one can reach him.
Okay, who else wants to go missing?
I wonder if the rumors are true.
Everyone
Mario.
actually took a vacation and didn't tell
Maybe
you.
since Mr. Wright caught a cold and won't be defending, he just lost interest.
That's a rumor now in the prosecutor's office. I intend to appear in court in the role of defense attorney. However, I would be quite unhappy if it came out that I'm actually a prosecutor.
How does no one know you're a prosecutor?
Yeah, I can see why, but I'm not the one you have to worry about. I think the real problem is gonna be that judge.
I don't know.
Yes,
He's
he
not the
certainly would
smartest
remember.
tool in the shed.
Shiroi, as senile as he can be, he always remembers Phoenix and Edgeworth by face at this point.
Hang on. Only the judge remember his face. Edgeworth or everyone
so
in the country.
Anyway, that's why I requested another judge to preside over my case.
Everyone in the country knows who you are.
Yes, but what matters is if the judge knows.
Yeah, but what about the prosecutor?
So
But they still mistook a spiky carrot for Phoenix.
Everyone in
True.
prosecutor's office must know you.
True, she's got a point there. So
With a
basically,
paper badge.
Wouldn't a problem if someone there made a big stink, sir?
Edgeworth requested a different judge, one who's only seen him once.
Also,
Is that the Canadian guy?
What do you think, Shiroi?
also
Are we gonna-
Lips.
Yeah.
Even though Little Tigre looks nothing like Phoenix except from the haircut, he still somehow wasn't fooled. So honestly, I don't think he's very hard to fool.
Exactly. Ironic
I
that the
got it.
judge was one of the only few people who actually did manage to put two and two together.
Is Edgeworth gonna time travel, get his prosecutor self, and have him be the prosecutor, so he'll be facing himself?
No, it's even better. He's gonna have Winston Payne be the prosecutor.
Ugh.
Oh, so that's
No one
an easy
ever-
win then.
No one ever listens to Payne anyway.
Like it'll make much difference.
She doesn't know about the
Maybe-
cheat sheet.
Well, that's actually a good thing that Dwebs is going on, though. It could be just like Pixar's Gary's game, where he'll go objection, and then Edgeworth has to run to the other side of the court. It's always this pantomime where we're constantly cutting between defense attorney Edgeworth and prosecutor Edgeworth.
That would be cool. His heart was
Prosecutor
shut tight
Edgeworth, he
with a
wears his
psycho
old
lock.
jacket or something.
You've not seen that short, right?
I guess I'll have to
Yeah.
look for him now. What a thorn in my side.
It's one of my favorite Pixar shorts.
So we have to look for Larry eventually.
But where
Well,
could he?
is Larry gonna be the prosecutor?
Maybe.
Wow, this is gonna be the easiest defense ever.
Let's just say for now, Dwibs, like you said to Shiroi at the last case of Justice for All, you're kind of out of a job this case.
They took their job.
Okay, it's you and me, Shiroi. I came back because I need to ask you a few more questions if you don't mind.
I've already told you everything that I
Cut the crap.
cut the crap.
Precisely. Iris, please remember, I'm on your side. You can tell me anything.
I know.
It's weird though.
That's just-
It's weird though. I feel like I've been on your side before in a previous trial.
That's just the thing, Edgeworth. You may be on her side, but I don't know if she's on yours.
This is all so confusing.
Yeah. I just finished speaking with the head nun of Hazakura Temple. She testified very clearly as to what happened. Well, Shiroi and Tio, as you may have noticed, one of the running themes of this game is like, Trials and Tribulations especially specializes in confusing the fudge out of you at the start of each case, like more so than Ace Attorney games did before. But then...
But this is probably the most confused I've ever been.
Exactly. The magic is how each case manages to weave everything magically together. And this case is no exception, I'll just let you know. Anyway, you were there as well.
What?
So we have a contradiction here. When I spoke with you last, you claimed you never went to the inner temple. And yet, Sister Bikini says she met with you at the inner temple that very night.
What do you have to say about that?
But I didn't go there. I don't go to the inner temple. I didn't go to the inner temple last night.
It looks like she's unwilling to tell me the whole truth.
Nah, you think?
I wonder
So
if I'll
what to
find
do?
the answers I'm looking for if I break those psycho locks.
He's never gonna get it right, is he?
No, I think he's doing it on purpose at this point.
Yeah. We have enough evidence though for it.
Let's see.
Well, we must be.
I don't like to walk alone at night.
In the dark.
You and everybody else, honey. I mean,
And last night was...
What about last night? Sounds like it was a very, very venture-filled one.
Nothing. It's rather silly.
I thought there were 3 Cyclops last time.
honey,
No,
I've
no,
seen
that
a
was with
parrot
Larry.
testify. I think I can handle this.
Oh, was that Larry?
Yeah.
Yeah, Larry had 3.
Iris had
Yeah, Iris
5
had-
when she talked to
But it was
Phoenix.
for a different question.
But yeah.
But this is a separate secret that she has, so...
Alright, here we go.
So she has
And
7
now, guys, for the
Cyclops in
first time
total.
ever, Edgeworth's Take That voice coming. Eventually. This letter, it appears to be addressed to you.
I think it's someone's idea of a joke instead, Edgeworth. That's why I threw it away.
More like you hid it under a cushion. She's not giving me a straight answer for some reason.
Edgeworth, young women don't give straight answers.
Never.
I'm going to have to find someone else who can give me information on this. Or use a trusty lie detector.
Is that the murder weapon?
Yes, it is. Have you ever seen it before?
Use the lasso of truth.
Yes. army was holding it, in the courtyard.
Unfortunately, the
Apparently.
Amazons aren't here, so
The head nun witnessed the whole sad affair. She saw you stabbing Miss Elise Dunham with the very sword last night.
There you go. Now I can make Wonder Woman jokes and those will get them. Yay.
Okay, I guess she doesn't know anything about the rod. Or the autopsy report. Okay, now I think we're about to... Oh wait, no, I need to present that.
This is the trainee's younger sister, correct? She's cute as a button, and she seems to really love mashed potatoes and gravy.
Oh.
Is that important?
Yes, that actually is.
She even said she was going to have the leftovers from dinner the next night. And then she took the leftover potatoes and the whole pot of gravy with her to her room.
Remember that. That's surprisingly going to be important.
Good gravy.
What was gravy secretly the murder weapon?
That's quite an
Yes.
appetite for such a little girl.
This is a grave situation.
what a mashup.
This is the woman who was to undergo training last night.
Yeah, I remember. She got like
Oh.
one fraction of the way through saying it 50,000 times.
She seems like a very strong, reliable woman.
Strong!
Unreliable.
Reliable. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but outside of that, I can't exactly say this Iris.
She is in this universe, so do we?
I can't exactly say Iris here is the best judge of character. I'd like to ask you about Sister Bikini, the head of Hazakara Temple. By the way, she...
bikini. I don't wear a bikini.
She raised me as she were my real mother.
Basically, Shiroi, according to Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Project Cross Zone 2, apparently the Ace Attorney universe takes place alongside all the Capcom franchises in a universe, go figure. As for where Maya...
The temple, I was just a small child.
Right. Now, as for where Phoenix and Maya got their powers, more again.
And if you look to your right, you can see the next Devil May Cry game being made.
Now, about your family...
I'm sorry, but I'd rather not talk about this.
Of course.
Was it really relevant to this investigation?
Well, it would be nice to know more about her family, maybe get some info on her. Also, Shiroi, just to answer... Take that!
There we go.
I think Edgeworth's voice actor was different here because...
No, actually, it's the same one, apparently. It's just that he gave his take that's and hold it's later than he gave his objection. Since I have been handed this case, I need all the information I can get.
Them before this point.
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir.
The smallest flame can sometimes bathe a case in a whole new light. In my years in court, I've seen it happen over and over again, most times at my expense. That's why I'm committed to searching until I have those answers. Now then, is it really true that you didn't go to the inner temple last night?
Yes, I swear. I already told you that.
Yes, you said you didn't go because you were frightened.
That's right.
But of what? If that's the case, then the obvious question is, what were you so frightened of? Iris, I wonder.
I rest my case.
Is this what frightened you so much that you couldn't even leave your own room? Take that! I found this in the main hall. It is addressed to you.
That's...
A suspicious-looking letter. Well, Iris?
Well, Iris...
Why are you glaring at me like that?
Force of habit!
I respect your right to be silent, but I do need an answer here.
You were scared of the blackmailer who wrote this to you, isn't that correct? Was it the evidence or the
silence? Now talk, woman.
Was it the evidence or the power of my glare that broke that lock? And where was that blast of wind all of a sudden that blew her away like that? Or maybe it's the power of attorney!
Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes?
I thought that letter was just someone playing a prank on me.
Who exactly then?
A prank?
Who do you know that would make such a prank to you?
Well, yes. Well, it could be Larry and... After
Oh, come
all,
on.
even if I do have a secret...
Oh, come on. Larry doesn't have it in him to listen to that.
I know. There's no one to tell it to.
Who would cause her so much grief? I wonder about that.
I wonder.
Sister Bikini's like a mother to me. I would never hide anything from her.
Basically, earlier she said that ever since she was a baby who was left on the doorsteps of the temple, Sister Bikini has been caring for her. However, last night was different. Unfortunately, I don't know the exact nature of your secret yet. And I will find out later, mark my words. However, whatever it is, there is one person you didn't want your secret told to. Who could that be?
Maya.
Take that! Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney.
Huh?
You mean something to Wright, it seems. And I can tell he holds a special place in your heart as well.
Wait, does she have a heart?
That's why you didn't want him, of all people, to know your deep, dark secret. Let's see if the Cyclops breaks.
You love him.
Well, what do you have to say?
You know, since we don't have any holy water around, what we should do is we should stick her in a room full of dogs and see how they overreact.
Yes.
I should have expected as much, especially from a friend of his.
And she's blushing again.
There we go.
Unlock successful.
Yay.
Not bad for my first try at that.
After dinner, this letter was waiting for me in my room. As I said, I was frightened by it.
What is this heavenly hall the letter mentions?
It's a small mountain shack at the base of Dusty Bridge.
A small shack, huh?
It's more like a broken down shack that no one would ever want to go near.
Where is it on this map? I need it updated. There's the updated map report. Updated map.
It's around here. To get there, you must follow a small path down from Dusky Bridge. The reality is, to get to the inner temple, I had no choice but to cross that bridge.
Of course, I had a choice. You could, not do it.
But the thought that such a terrible criminal could be looking at Heavenly Hall? I was so scared by the whole affair that I didn't want to think about it at all.
So, is this the secret that you locked away in your heart?
One of many. Yes.
It looks as though I may have to visit this heavenly hall now. Maybe there I can find a sign of our mysterious blackmailer. In any case, you still claim to have never left your room last night.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Iris's testimony added to the court record. My trial starts tomorrow. I promise you, I will win. I'm going to win so that you and Phoenix Wright can see each other again.
Please don't ship right now.
Yes, he is, Shiroi. Yes, he is. But when I do, you must promise me that you will tell him your secret.
Well, Shiroi, you yourself just went with this dilemma with Fairy Fencer F in terms of deciding the ships I'm going to use, so you know what it's like.
Why would you say that?
Because she's the... Oh, wait, sorry. Getting confused.
Because I may know who Phoenix Wright is,
He's a liar.
but he has no idea who I am.
Oh.
Okay, now this sounds like a bit of a Zen riddle we have on our hands.
Let's go with testimony.
She doesn't know our
Apparently
testimony.
she doesn't know anything about her own testimony. Dear Lord.
It
Is
hasn't
this
happened
tough?
yet.
Word his
If you don't know anything about your testimony, then what good is it?
Dear Lord, I never thought it would be this tough. No wonder Wright's always breaking down in a code switch. And wait, I feel like I've said this already.
Whoa. Not
Sorry.
much of a view down here, huh?
Still better than the view from my apartment, though.
Jesus Christ, Gumshoe. You poor thing.
Can you just say something that's not depressing for once?
Wait, someone's here! Hi, detective!
Let me guess, it's Larry.
Why does this always happen?
What the heck?
Just you.
Whenever I find a girl I like, they always run away. I wonder if that means something.
Or die.
I even chased one of them to Tibet. I even found Tintin in one of his adventures. He's going to be prison, I guess.
Oh.
I'll steal that detective's wallet. They'll get me locked up for sure.
Wait, I love this.
No, I can't do that to someone who looks like he's down on his luck.
Wow, he's actually being considerate for someone.
Jesus. He's just talking to himself.
Even Gumshoe feels sorry for Larry. And that's saying something.
Shh, be quiet and listen, Gumshoe. This is a rare occasion where we get to see a deep, dark look at his psyche.
Okay.
I knew it! I should have done that! I blew it again!
Done that? What did he do, I wonder?
Hey, you! About what you just said, I got an objection.
Shoot!
Gumshoe objected.
Completing the corner theme, well, the pursuit theme called Caught.
God damn it, Gumshoe, I wanted to listen a bit more. What the? You dirty rat!
Doing his job.
Claire. Gumshoe,
took-
you oaf.
Yeah, see? Gumshoe, sorry, Edgeworth agrees with me.
I'm sorry, sir.
Do we find out the secret?
I knew they were shouting out objection.
We will, Dribs, we will.
And in a loud commanding voice too. I even pointed with my pointer finger.
Aww.
So do you want
You've
to change
watched-
careers, detective?
You've watched too many trials. And that's saying something, that's how trials
Gumshoe's going to be the
go.
prosecutor of the case.
Gumshoe.
Okay,
It was
Larry.
foreshadowing.
The jig is up. What have you got to say for yourself? Okay, guys, we may be looking into his psyche a bit more, actually.
Joy.
Oh, yeah. What is this little shack, anyway? Major?
Sorry. Well, I just discovered it myself yesterday.
What were you... and why were you down here in the first place?
Hey, I'm allowed to be whatever I want. Come on, I'm an artist. I was looking for a good place to sketch.
Maybe we can believe him for once.
It's a great little place. You see, even yesterday when there was storming, I was drawing this comic book, and then suddenly the comic book came to life and threw me into the comic book.
Oh,
And I think it would
really?
make a great video game.
Maybe.
Sounds a lot like my apartment there, pal.
Okay,
What? That happens to you too? We should totally be buddies.
yeah, one thing's for sure. No one's likely to show up and disturb you down here.
What's your mom's name?
so I can get you something to drink? Some hot water, maybe?
He's
Hey,
getting
bye.
all our body on us, sir.
Hey, my mom's named Bikini too. We should be friends.
Yeah, that's right. Larry's mother is actually Sister Bikini, and it shows. It really shows.
You gotta do this. You gotta save Iris.
Why are you so sure she's innocent? Because she's cute?
What you have? Anyway, I don't know my mind about it.
I'm going to be the prosecutor.
I'm going to marry that girl.
Mr. Edgeworth is pretending he didn't hear you, so I'm gonna ask for him. Have you already asked this girl to marry you?
No, not yet. But I can tell how she feels by the look in her eyes.
That
Want you to
is...
go away?
She's got this, I really want this man to carry me over the threshold look.
No.
Oh, God.
I'm sure Nick would be surprised. I'm not nuts, don't judge me.
You
I
know,
never imagined that I could marry such a girl like that.
You are a restraining order waiting to happen.
that's...
And
yeah.
I'm pretty sure this isn't the first time I've said that about you.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't want. Whatever. I mean, what am I gonna do if she gets hurt?
Hold on. What is this guy trying to say? He asked me about a mile back.
If
Don't-
you really
don't
want to know
bother,
the answer to that,
Don't bother, Gumshoe. It happens to all of us.
we're going to have to drag him onto the witness stand.
Oh, goody.
No, not again.
Come to think of it, you still haven't answered my question. Where were you and what were you doing last night?
Allow me to answer your question with another question. Oh man, but do you have anything else to talk about? See, there you go.
No.
With that kind of attitude, you'll never be a ladies' man like me.
Look, I have enough ladies chasing after me. You can't even get that. Which may be a blessing in
Okay,
disguise.
chill out those scary eyes. I couldn't. If you really want to know, last night I saw something incredible.
Oh boy, that. Something incredible.
I'm not telling you.
Well, it must have been incredible.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that right now.
No, let's.
Let's talk about the good old days. You know, that days when I stole your money?
Yes, and when Wright got the
Go
blame
on.
for it. Why hasn't he realized that I absolutely despise talking about the good old days?
Especially with him.
What exactly did you see last night?
Well, it's kind of hard to say. It's one of those things. You know what I mean?
No.
But it's like, it's not so much what I saw, as it's the situation in general. I'm totally not filibustering. Phew, that's a relief. Thanks, buddy.
I have the strangest urge to smash this guy against those big nasty locks. I don't care if he can't see or feel them. I'm thinking about doing it right now.
They try and do that though. You just pass right through them, you know.
Larry may be one of the few people who can boggle the minds of someone as smart as Edgeworth or Phoenix. The night of the crime. Alright, now you're going to tell me what you really saw last night. We have the mystical mojo music playing and everything.
Wow, you're really upset, aren't you, Edgy? Okay, I'll talk.
That was a bit too easy.
Well, Larry Cyclops always are, aren't they?
By the way, it was awesome! Never seen anything like it! Around 10 o'clock last night, it started thundering. I've been sleeping, I'm not sure for how long. Suddenly, zing! The world in front of me went white. Suddenly, a good DCU movie appeared. I know, hard to believe, right?
Really?
Like I just been slapped in the face by my old girlfriend, Naomi.
And then?
And then, it was on fire! The bridge was on fire!
Oh my god, it was as red as the Rotten Tomato meter for Wonder Woman. dusky bridge caught on fire? Are you saying you saw it with your own eyes?
Hey, why are you giving me the evil eye? I'm telling you the truth.
But there are still 3 Cyclops remaining.
Psycho locks.
Psycho rocks. That means he's still trying to hide something. By the way, Larry, where were you when you saw that happen?
Where are you say? What do you mean?
Here's our secret coming. What do you mean? What do I mean? Just answer the question.
I was in my own room. At the main hall. Where else would I be?
As usual, you're as transparent as an empty jelly jar. The problem, I suspect, lies there.
There? What do you mean, there?
It's impossible for you to have seen lightning strike Dusky Bridge from your room. Because I have the updated, never
what if
mind.
I have extra vision?
Oh, but this is one of those cases where having X-ray vision, even that wouldn't have helped you. Hold on, just have to shuffle through. Take that! This is a map of the area. It's updated properly. Look, I'm new to this, okay?
What am I looking for?
I think that should be fairly obvious.
Which is why you have to explain to him.
The main hall is surrounded by trees, and it's impossible to see the bridge from there, even with the angle.
What? Why didn't you tell me that before?
Because that's how I catch my criminals off guard. Well, how about it?
How about what?
Do you feel like talking now?
No. About what?
You magnificent bastard of a dodger, you. It looks like it won't be that easy after all.
It
You
won't
leave me no
be
choice.
easy.
I'll have to move on to the next step. You weren't in your room at the temple, so then where were you?
To the next step.
What was that?
To the next step.
What was that case where someone had like 4 Cyclops, but after one question we broke all of them?
Wendy Oldbag.
One of the old bag.
That was, farewell my turnabout.
Yeah.
If I read the situation up to this point correctly, then the theory should be obvious. Very well then, let's test my theory. The place you witnessed lightning strike Dusky Bridge from was here. Take that! The place you saw lightning strike was from, naturally, Heavenly Hall!
Why would I be hanging out in this old shack?
Ooh.
It's freezing cold. There's no electricity. It could fall apart at any minute.
Very. How do you know that? How do you know there's no electricity? After all, it's not that dark yet. In other words, you have just provided evidence to prove my theory. My theory that you've at least once in your life visited Heavenly Hall after sunset!
Well, maybe someone told me. Isn't that a possibility?
Well, the shattering of a psycho rock suggests otherwise.
I have to admit I'm impressed, Edgy. You're in a totally different league from Nick.
Yes, that's nice. Now, please tell me, what were you doing at this cold little shack last night?
I was, what you might call a faire de call.
I think you mean a faire de quoi.
Yeah, that.
Could it be you were waiting for someone?
Oh, no!
Oh,
You really are one
yes.
scary guy, you know?
I believe that last night you were waiting for this person to come meet you. That's right, you were waiting for Godo.
No.
And then to have lost a bit of his meter.
Take that! There's only one person you'd wait for in a horrible place like this, Larry.
Larry X Godo OTP.
That's surprisingly a thing.
I told you before, don't call me Larry.
What
The
is wrong with
person
this
you were
fandom?
waiting for was Iris.
Shiroi, you realize you can ask that of any fandom, right?
I know.
So you think I got the hots for Sister Iris, huh?
You've been telling us that since we first met you.
Do you have some kind of evidence, even though I literally just told you this like 5 minutes ago?
We
You got
need...
something that proves I was waiting for her?
This is where I draw the line and end this ridiculous little game. Here's the
I'm
evidence
enjoying it.
that you were waiting for Iris.
Because he's Iris.
And because you're obsessed.
Yeah, you've been
Take that!
talking about nothing but her ever since we met
Here's
you.
your evidence. You called into the spot with a pathetic blackmail letter.
That was Larry?
Yep.
Oh, hey,
Wait
give
a
that back. You're
Wait,
embarrassing
so-
me.
Larry.
So I was right. So I
Anyway.
was right.
Larry knows the secret. It's not important. I misjudged you, Larry.
You mean?
Taking advantage of a woman's frailty like that! You should be ashamed of yourself! First of all, what's this at the top of the letter? It says, "Salutation here."
Well, that's what it said in that book, Letter Writing for Dummies.
You're not supposed to actually write that! You blithering moron! That's what you're supposed to write, "Dear Iris!"
I'm so sorry.
He just sent her a he literally sent her a template.
No, I got it. He photocopied the template and said that's going to change anything.
No.
So you were here in Heavenly Hall last night, were you not, Larry? And you saw the lightning hit Dusky Bridge, didn't you?
Sorry, Angie.
Do you?
Oh, sorry. Sorry doesn't cut you, scumbag. Friending a young lady like that.
So, Edgeworth, sorry, Gumshoe, shouldn't you arrest him for this?
Yeah, you arrest him for blackmail.
But here it
Wait,
comes.
hold up.
And seal stalking. One now, pal.
What are you talking about? What threatening stuff?
I'll tell you what, you tried to scare Iris by friending to expose his secret, pal.
You know, if people could be arrested for stupidity...
Threaten? When did I threaten her?
Oh god.
Unless you want your secrets to be exposed. That sure sounds like a threat to me, pal. Blackmail, in fact.
Yeah.
Give me a break. It's a love letter. Haven't you ever been in love?
I don't remember seeing any love letter in my life in either fiction or reality. that
What did you
had
just
something like that in it.
My love for her burned so hotly it could melt all the snow in this mountain.
Seriously,
Well,
how are one of those go in real life?
Wait, oh.
Dear insert girl here, I love you.
Wait,
Please love me
hold
or
on.
else
Then
I'll
what's the
tell you
secret
what
that you
do.
mentioned?
Come on, Edgy, don't you get it? I'm talking about the secret love between her and me. Obviously, she wouldn't want old Lady Bikini to know about it, right? Right? About our hot and sour, bittersweet love affair.
Alright,
just
then
love
why did
being
you send a love letter in a business-like manila envelope? Seriously!
Give me a break, it's not my fault. I didn't have any other envelopes.
Let's see, so if I...
Try another
Then
one.
why are you so quick to apologize, pal?
It's because Angie gave me that scary look at this. What's wrong, Angie? Why are you so quiet all of a sudden?
If I kill him now, I could dump his body in the river and blame it on her. That's it.
That's it?
That's what all those huge rocks are for. I don't understand why you were so defensive.
Well, I don't know either. I guess the thing is... you shouldn't expect too much from a guy like me.
Really.
Hey, come on! Don't let it get you down.
Wait, hold on.
But Mr. Edgeworth, This guy is still hiding something, I know it.
Gumshoe's spotting something that Edgeworth didn't. What do you mean, Detective?
I don't like his face.
Don't forget what this guy said just a minute ago.
Oh?
If you really want to know, last night I saw something incredible.
He hasn't revealed what that was yet. He's right. Larry! My god, Gumshoe was right. I may have to consider giving him a raise.
What? You look at me like a hungry dog that just found a bone.
I
That
might actually pay
was-
you minimum wage this time.
There's something incredible. You're going to tell me, Larry, one way or another. Wait,
Hold him over the edge of the cliff.
Yes.
I'm so tempted.
Tell me where it is.
Anyway, what is this festive-looking ornament?
It reminds me of art class in grade school. We used to have a lot of fun decorating the classroom with origami, remember?
Yes, although I fear one of our classmates grew up to be a killer. Well,
Oh yeah, you were never any good at it.
Well,
Yeah, this guy was so bad he couldn't even fold $1, let alone a crane.
So, Larry was better at something than Edgeworth.
Oh, yo.
That's surreal.
Really? I never would have.
Be quiet already! I'll never forget the shame of that day. I was upstaged by Larry freaking Butts!
Aww.
You want a crane? I can now make a perfect quarter-inch crane without a single flaw!
Really?
I get the
wait.
feeling Edge has just been practicing origami in the dark.
You know, Reggie, nothing for nothing, but a quarter-inch crane without a single flaw is not easy.
Wow, Larry's actually thinking that Edgeworth may be going too far.
Yeah, that's quite a feat, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
This is exactly why I hate childhood friends. We're learning,
Fuck childhood.
we're learning a lot
You're
about
stuck
Larry.
with them forever.
You know, it must really pain Edgeworth to know that Larry is actually more skilled than him in some of these things. Larry, of all people, is more skilled than Edgeworth.
That's a horrible graffiti problem you got there, pal.
You don't know anything, Detective. This is art. It's an expression of my bittersweet love for Iris.
I bet you all of his paintings in that shack are nothing but Iris.
Larry, do you know the difference between graffiti and true art?
Yeah, I mean, have you watched that Hammerman episode? They hammer it into your head like 50
It's how the artist defines himself.
I should have seen that one coming.
Well, if that's the case, then all my lunchboxes are masterpieces too, pal.
You know what? I'm not going to object. I don't have the heart to break his
Well,
spirit.
we do. Well, there are such a thing as the culinary arts, so.
True. Very true. The straw roof is covered with snow and fine powder.
Wow, makes a nice image, doesn't it? I always did like the rustic look.
Heavenly Hall. I suppose it's an appropriate name in some sense.
You got that right. Look at that bridge up there. This place has to be heaven because that thing is hell.
Hell is up and heaven is down.
You
You do well to remember that, Larry.
I don't know.
this
I was
thing-
playing Super Pitfall the other day. It didn't seem that easy.
I wonder what even goes on in that shack. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Same thing he says about that, even checking that there.
In fact, Theo, I'm starting to wonder. Like, this is probably what Matsumo Toriyama was doing during his vacation. He came to an isolated shack, drawing pictures of lightning all the time,
Yes.
and what happens
See,
inside? And what happens?
will appreciate me.
And what happens
Yes, and-
inside?
What happens inside is, well, I refer you to that joke. I'll refer to it. Okay. Basically, Dwebs, he carries a lot of tissues into that shack.
Oh god. Anyway.
That's just not good.
Okay, back to the story.
Dead-eye silver, you're
I've got a headcanon about that actually.
What?
He saw the picture of lightning, realised, oh my god, what the fuck am I doing with my life? And decided to make direct Mobius Final Fantasy.
That might actually work since he hasn't really done anything with lightning since.
I still wouldn't trust him with a large-scale project, honestly.
Well,
Well,
Mobius isn't
yeah.
Mobius Final Fantasy a PC/mobile game?
Mobile game.
It's a mobile we got a port on Steam, but at its core is still a mobile FTP.
Oh, sorry about that, Detective. I ate 4 bananas and tossed their peels on the stairs on my way down here.
Basically, Gumshoe slipped 4 times when going down.
So that's what I was sleeping on.
Be careful on the way back. Those deadly banana peels are still out there.
You.
Banana peels.
Oh, that's a real important piece of information right there, Mr. Edgeworth.
Larry's
Oh,
aggravating.
the banana peel.
You know-
Classic physical comedy.
You know, Larry, trying to aggravate both a police detective cop and a world-famous prosecutor is not your best decision, friends or not.
Nothing. It's nothing.
Sounds pretty suspicious to me.
Something about that statement smells, and you know what they say. When something
Everything
smells,
smells,
it's
it's
usually
Usually
the
the
bud.
butts.
Speaking of which,
What, you gonna present to his butt?
I wish.
Maybe check this out.
Doesn't know anything about the sword. Maybe
What are you doing,
Yep.
dude? This is how the Musketeers was always carrying.
Well, well,
Huh?
what is it, Larry?
Oh, he noticed the lack of a gemstone?
There's something missing from this staff. I think the Italian one of the audience already noticed it too.
There's something
I
missing.
looked at it earlier first.
That's very nice, Jan. I mean, Dwibs.
JM.
Jan. That's very nice, Jane.
Oh, hey, it's Pearl! But she's way cuter than this Pearl. Makes you go out look like in a cute way, yeah?
He actually dated someone named Pearl.
What did you say?
Yeah, but then I found out he was in love with this. She was in love with this pink head.
Why are you wasting your time with me then?
Excuse me?
If anything happens to her, I'll never forgive you, even though you have nothing to do with this.
What? Well, actually, he's talking about Pearl Faye
Wow, I
then.
guess he's right for a change, sir.
No, I feel like I'm the bad guy in all this.
Again, welcome to the attorney side of this issue.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Maya. Nick was trying to go save her, you know. But instead, he wound up falling off the bridge.
At its highest point, when Dahlia...
Is Maya still stuck over the other side?
Yep.
Apparently.
I'm not surprised though. Nick always gets himself into trouble.
Well,
Most
if
of it
that
isn't me.
isn't the pot calling the kettle black...
Exactly. Thank you, Edgeworth.
I love
Just
playing
hope
as...
that Maya doesn't catch a cold. So.
Have I mentioned that I love playing as Edgeworth in this case? He's so... Okay,
Yeah.
Phoenix has a sharp tongue, but Edgeworth is even sharper.
Well, we don't spend a lot of time with Edgeworth in these games.
Don't worry, Shiroi. That's what the investigation games are for.
Well, to be fair, Shiroi, if we spend a lot of time with Edgeworth in these games, he would kind of get a bit oversaturated if he were the only
Alright,
prosecutor.
about this something incredible.
I already told you, didn't I? I saw lightning strike Dusky Bridge.
Oh, don't you dare tell me that it returned. Yes, and I believe it was the incredible sight you saw. But now that I think about it, something doesn't quite ring true.
What doesn't?
If that's at all is your story, your heart wouldn't have had all those locks. Yes, Larry. I believe you saw something last night. Something more incredible than lightning. And then Motomi Toriyama faints in disbelief.
There is no such thing. What? Where? When? Where? Why? How?
Who, what, when, where?
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
He's trying to sing that spy kiss.
Uh-oh.
So I'm leaving from Mr. Edgeworth. I'll arrest you on the spot, pal.
Yes.
Oh no.
Oh fuck.
What if we revive?
Oh,
Dun 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 dun.
well, that's wrong,
No.
sir.
Does this mean I have to do it all over again?
Why are you glaring at me like I'm next to be hit by a bolt of lightning?
Hey, Edgeworth, it could be worse. You could have had like 6 or 10 Cyclops.
Well, so far he's given me a total of 8! If I really want to drag the truth out of him, I'll just have to drag him to the witness stand. Then I can have my way with him. Vengeance will be mine!
Or Edgeworth.
In the next part.
Wow.
We've got 10 seconds left, so...
So, in the next part, guys, for the first time ever, we will be playing as Edgeworth in court!
Against Winston Payne, I guess.
Yes,
Yeah.
against Winston Payne.
Alright, see you then.
See ya.
See you, everybody.